Alright, Spectre here for another Spectre Studio Bat Rep. We're going to do a 40K. We got Spectre Ames here and Bill Babb. You've seen us on battle reports before. You've seen a lot of Spectre Ames. Bill has been on a couple of videos before representing the Tau, of course. So we got an iconic battle with the iconic two large pieces of the new 40K world, the Wraithknight and the Riptide. So we want to make sure that they're really allowed in. So 2,000 points, guys, right? Alright, so what are we looking for your army, Spectre Ames? What do you got here?
Well, I decided one of the big things that we were looking at with the new army, and there's been a whole lot of talk about it, has been the new Wraith army. I'm not going with Iandin in this army. I wanted to stick with the core codex, but I did want to go with a real strong Wraith theme. So I've got a Wraithknight, obviously, and I've got a couple units of Wraith Guard or 3 units of Wraith Guard to go with it. Trying some of them out and really see how well they hold up to the higher power and really firepower of the Tau army.
Alright, Bill, what do you have for the Tau theme?
Alright, I have the Valshia engineer cadre, so I've got a lot of crazy bits and pieces, drones, suits, tank, Riptide, all sorts of crazy bits and pieces, the different war gear scattered all over, and selection of drones, so.
Alright, so we got a lot of stuff that we're going to see, so we're really going to try to get through most of these games, 2,000 points. So you're going to see quite a bit of the pieces from both armies. We really hope you guys really enjoy this, and we're going to let these two guys battle it out and show you what they really brought.
Alright, I am Bill. I've got the Valshia Combat Engineer Tau list today. We have an Ethereal and a Senior Commander taking up the HQ slots. Ethereal, obviously iconic, doesn't make everyone run away like they've wet their pants anymore, so that's an upside, has some new aura abilities. The Commander is got pretty much the same thing that he used to have before. He's the sweet spot for all your special war gear, but they've got some new tricks in that department these days, so he's always something to watch for. Got a bodyguard team which the Commander may or may not take part with, and that is a important slot for Tau. Bodyguards now let you automatically pass Lookout Sir attempts, so that commander stays on the field a lot longer. The obligatory huge smattering of fire warriors, who of course provide the bulk of the fire for the army, and at strength 5 it's nothing to simply dismiss. Pathfinders are up front and center. The stealth suits, they provide sort of the same role. They've got marker lights and they don't die too easy. Over here we've got the crisis suits, a lot of missile pods with a lot of gun drones for ablative wounds. Towards the back we've got the broadsides. Unfortunately I haven't had a lot of money to dump into it, so we've got the rail rifle drones providing covering support for missile pod drones, so they'll be working in there today. The Sky Ray, of course, pretty much obligatory choice for the Tau Codex to provide anti-air support. Disruption pods on that baby, not a whole lot else, bare bones. And of course the Riptide, it's kind of a work in progress. We've been cleaning it up, so there's only barely paint on it, still missing a few parts, but he's got the ion accelerator cannon, fusion blasters, and the stimulant injectors, so throw a lot of firepower down that field at a lot of high strength values. All sorts of nifty bits of war gear, some new tricks from the Codex, so hopefully it'll go pretty well. Iandin has a lot of high toughness value models, but hopefully we got enough high strength on the field to just kind of level them before they get too close.
Okay, so Spectre Ames here, and tonight we're going against the Tau army. And one of the things Spectre really wanted to showcase is the Wraithknight. So I decided to go with a Iandin type of theme. I'm not actually running the Iandin army specifically, but I am running a Spirit Seer, which makes the Wraith Guard troops. So when we look at it, I've got some units of Wraith Guard to go with the Wraithknight, and additionally I've got some Wave Serpents for them. So the first unit is all the way on the left, and that's the one escorted by the Spirit Seer, and that unit actually is armed with the D sides. So we've got a bunch of flamers. Then we've got a couple of regular units, 6 man each, so they all fit in the Wave Serpents. And I've given the Wave Serpent scatter lasers with Shuriken cannon upgrades. And next I have my Farseer on the purple jet bike, and as you can see it's armed with this singing spear. I haven't gone with any other upgrades on them, but just that. I've got a small unit of Dire Avengers and a unit of two camp objectives. And then I've got a little unit of Scorpions as a little close combat. And in the back, I got my 2 heavy support, the Fire Prism, which is really looking like a good tank in this edition. And I've got my Keystone piece, is my Wraithknight. As you can see, it's missing a few pieces here and there because I haven't quite finished them yet. But I just got some extra tools to be able to do a couple of nice, nifty little tricks on the modeling with them. So I'm looking forward to finishing him up, and hopefully for the next battle report, we'll have him all finished and everything, and highlighted, shaded, all that fun stuff, and nice modeling tricks.
So it is the Relic mission with Vanguard deployment. The Eldar have set up over here. You can pretty much see where Spectre Ames has placed all his forces. The striking Scorpions did infiltrate. There's Bill's deployment with the Riptide in the back, the Sky Ray, and a battle line with the commander with the broadsides. Pathfinder's moving forward, have infiltrated into the line, and everything else pretty much well placed where they're going to be.
Okay, so end of turn 1 movement. I've gone ahead and basically just started moving up my army, and basically everything just moved forward. Scorpions are starting to come in, try to moving up on the flank. Wave Serpent and Wraithguard with my Wind Riders are coming around this hill. The Wave Serpent, Fire Prism, and Dire Avengers are moving up, coming around the other side. The Wraithknight just walked forward, and my 3rd Wave Serpent with Wraithguard has moved around the opposite flank for my Scorpions. So now we will see how our shooting does.
Alright, so I'm going to try to give you a recap of how things are going. Pretty much this is commented that we should reduce the noise. There's a lot of background going on being at our location over at Crossroad Games in Standish, Maine. So Spectre Ames is going to start things off first. The Wave Serpent is going to be firing its area weaponry at the Pathfinders. Now pretty much that's the Shrieking Cannon. And that allows, once it hits, it allows the other weapon to be twin-linked, so that's how he's rerolling most of that. So these are pretty good bonus upgrades going on with the new Eldar Codex. So he's looking for 2s to wound, strength 6 versus toughness 3. So the first weapon does 2. And 4 more there, so he's got a total of 6 wounds fired from that Wave Serpent. Now, Bill's mentioning that he's got better cover saves, so he's got 4+, and that kills 2 of the Pathfinders that have put themselves up in the front battle line. Now the Wind Riders are going to try the same thing, but Spectre Ames finds out that they are out of range. After this discovery, he also found out that, kind of lost track of what he was doing and forgot to do the psychic phase for his Eldar. So he's kind of a little vulnerable from what's going on with that. And so the other Wave Serpent now is firing his blast over at Stealth Suit. So as you can see with this rerolling ability and the higher ballistic skill, these transports are just pretty much almost nailing 6 to 7 shots easy on units they fire at. Again, 6 to 3, so there's 3 more wounds. But he's a little describing that he's got the rending rule going on, but it's not really going to matter much in this part with the night fight going on. So, not to mention he's firing at the stealth suits who already have the special rules of stealth and shrouded stacked on top, and they're in area and terrain. So, Bill is explaining that they are solid 2+ save. So he's going to be rolling to defend there, but it is 7 hits. And of the 7, 1 of the 7 does not survive. So they've taken 1 casualty, all right. Now the fire prism is going to aim at the bodyguard unit that have separated from their actual mission of protecting the commander. So the blast is going to be off target quite a bit. So 6 inches away. With a ballistic skill of 4, Bill's pointing out where it is. That small template basically hits nothing. The Wraithknight now is getting in the action. He's going to go for the same unit, the bodyguard unit. So he's firing away there. Blast and hits, easy. And then rolling to wound. And he fails to wound on one of them, so only 1. And with all the protection and cover, they survive. So the Wave Serpent has flanked on the far left, is again firing the Shuriken Catapult. And if you're looking at the community, this is where the unhappiness of a non-Eldar player realizing that the effectiveness of these transport is really, really good. So you can see with the rerolls, they're allowing themselves to hit on a high percentage, and at strength 6, they're wounding even infantry units very easily, and they're very capable of knocking out small transports. So 6 wounds, and even with all the cover, 2+ saves for the stealth suit, 3 of them have failed. So this is the new Eldar with their capability of throwing a lot of dice and now hitting the opponents here. So now Spectre Ames is going to move the Dire Avengers up. They're going to make a run move. Makes it 5 inches. Now with Fleet, they could have rerolled it if they needed to, but they make it. He's realizing that. And this is what's going to utilize the other new rule for the Eldar, is the battle focus. So he's getting themselves into more range of those stealthy suits. So again, these new abilities really are quickly being showcased by the new Eldar here in this battle by Spectre Ames. So he's checking the range with their new Shuriken catapults, and now again all these Shuriken weaponry have the rending rule, but the stealth suits are in cover, so it's really not affecting them yet. But it is something to change the way they're utilized on the battle. So he's figured out how all his shots rolling to hit. Dire Avengers haven't changed; they're still the ballistic skill 4, so they pretty much now are really using the weaponry as their is better than the Guardians. So strength 4 versus toughness 3. Looking for 3s. Not as many wounds there. He's rolled a bunch of 1s. So 5 wounds. Strike from the Dire Avengers. Spectre Ames is mentioning again that it's AP2, but at this point, like I said, it doesn't matter. Bill continues to start rolling poorly. With a 2+ save, he is rolling those 1s. So a lot of those stealth suits are dead. You can see 1 remaining. The Sarge and his drone. I'm just showing a quick run move here. So the striking Scorpions are now running up to get in better position to make their launch their assault. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they have the battle focus as well, but they don't really have the smaller weaponry fire. This is really the assault phase now. Basically, again, Spectre Ames has realized that he has not protected the Wind Riders, so he's now backing up because he doesn't have the fortune going on. He can completely spaced it and kind of moving forward. So he's hiding and getting into more protection in that aspect there. And that is the Eldar attacking phase.
All right, so bottom of turn 1, town movement is complete. We had some good rolls going off. The Riptide managed to activate its reactor, which is always a good thing. and he is using his overclock template. The commander, who has joined the broadside squads, has obviously chosen Tank Hunter because it confers to the entire unit of missile pods and railguns to hopefully take care of some of that Eldar armor. Everything has generally moved up to try to get better lines of fire on their targets because, with a few exceptions, we don't care a whole lot about night fight. Bodyguards and the crisis suit teams have moved up to get better lines of fire for their AT weapons, and the fire warriors are going to hopefully get some hits on some of the infantry that's exposed. The Ethereal has used his Feel No Pain bubble to hopefully help the fire warriors weather some of this vehicle shooting before we, with any luck, wipe some stuff off the board here.
And where's this Pathfinder?
The stealth suits, tragically, after weathering most of the Eldar turn of fire, at lead 9 decided they did not want any more of that. The sergeant and one of his drones made it through, and they decided to get out while the getting was good and took it right off the board.
For the greater good, they've left.
Yep. They'll be back for another battle, though, so with any luck, next time they won't run away quite so far.
All right, now we're into the Tau shooting phase. With Tau armies, you're going to pretty much be setting up a lot of marker lights. So the Pathfinders will start first, and Bill is aiming at the Wave Serpent because he knows that the Wraithguard inside have the Flamer template type weaponry. So scores 4 hits. And Bill's got some pretty special, nice little marker lights to indicate, to keep track of pretty easily. And now he's getting the Riptide set up. He's activated his reactor. And Bill is balloosting himself to weapons ballista skill 7. He wants to make sure that he doesn't vaporize himself with the gets hot plus really drop in the roll if it should get any issues. So it didn't get hot, and he's rolling to scatter, but it was a direct hit, so really didn't need anything else from that. And it is going to hit the Wave Serpent, but it also clips the Fire Prism. So it's Strength 9, Ordnance Weapon, so the Wave Serpent is Pen, and the Fire Prism doesn't do anything, but it is Ordnance, so he gets to reroll it, and that causes a glance. So now basically they're going to basically be getting some differentials. So he's starting with the Fire Prism first, and the Fire Prism only gets the Jinx at 5, and Spectre Ames nails it, so no damage. And the Wave Serpent is actually has 25% coverage from the hill and the other models, so he's using that save over the Jinx save. So Spectre Ames rolls that and just makes that. So Riptide does no damage. So the Sky Ray now, with really no aircraft to target, is going to try to continue to help with marker lights. So Fires gets 1 marker light, and that's on the striking Scorpions that are advancing on the Tau's left flank. And Bill is going to use the last of his marker light units. It's the drones with the bodyguard squad, but he didn't get the drone remote thing to get the ballista skills evened up. So, but they're firing at the Dire Avengers, and so the plasma hit and 1 marker light hit. So he's got the marker light on them. Now to roll the wound. So strength 6 from their weaponry against toughness 3. Of course, that's 2 wounds. And they're in the open. And they don't get the night fighting special rule there because of the Tau's Black Sun filter. So one of the advantages of the Tau is to be able to deal with the scenario issues, especially with cover. So they really negate armies having that capability. So the commanders attached the broadside unit. the drones with them. And the cool thing with one of the Tau armies, a couple armies that have units that are able to split fire. So the drones are going for the far wave serpent there. And the broadsides are going to go for that wave serpent he failed to crack earlier. So really concentrating on that wave serpent. There's the relic, still sitting in the center. So the drones have ballistic skill 2, and he gets 3 of those hits. Now he added the commander to get the tank buster ability attached to them, so he's going to get to reroll these, which is good because nothing happened on that first one. And one glance, and Spectre aims a 3rd save. So still no damage from the Tau. So the broadsides are going to see what they can do. They're twin linked. And doesn't matter. Hits all of them. So strength 8. He's looking for 4s. So he gets a glance and a pen. So he rolls a nothing. Nothing. Now Bill's going to gamble here and decides to pick up the glance and try to get more. And that is a nothing now. So only one penetrating hit he's got to save from. Now he gets to do the jink, and he makes it because they had the high ground.
Dice gods are being kind to me right now.
So yeah, Spectre Ames seriously made the rolls that he needed to. Now here's the Fire Warriors. They're now firing at the Dire Avengers. They improved their ballistic skills, so that 3 now is a hit. So they only need 2s. And there's 4. So that extra hit is going to force him to roll in 1 more save. So Aspect Warrior at 4 saves, so he gets those, but he fails 3 of them. So that cleans out the Dire Avengers. They have been eliminated. So Crisis Suits are also they're going to do some split firing. So they're spending the Marker Light to increase their ballistic skill. And so the Sergeant and the drones are going to be firing at the Striking Scorpions. The 2 other Crisis Suits are going to fire at that Wave Serpent. So Bill trying to crack some type of damage going on against these transports to slow down the Eldar. Remember that he knows that they're Wraith Guard inside, so they don't have the fleet. Not going to be as fast. No battle focus. So it would really slow down the army if he can do that. However, Spectre Ames has been making the saves. So that's the commander in the blue. So he gets 2 hits. And because of the drone control remote, he's able to get all those other hits in. And the Twin Linked adds 1 more hit. So he only missed on 1 with the drones. So these are the missiles. So they only need 2s. Both of them wound. And he needs 2s again. So it's 9 wounds there. 9 wounds there. So 11 total. So Bill thought that he had him on the Aspect Warriors, so he thought they'd kill 2 first, but they actually have 3+ armor for the Striking Scorpions, so those are saved. And now the 9 saves from the drones, but they do cause pinning. So if anything gets through, and indeed, 3 do. So 3 of the Striking Scorpions fall to that, And Spectre Ames is going to have to roll their pitting check. And they score 6, so they're fine. Now Bill is going to be firing the Fire Warriors, so he's trying to protect that flank. So the Fire Warriors are going to continue to pound the Scorpions. And he's ignoring stealth with these guys shooting because he's got a Black Sun filter with the Ethereal. So the Ethereal is really laying down a nice anchor in the Tau lines, much different than the old edition. So a lot of misses though. Now that because he didn't have the marker lights for them to use, they've all been used up, and he only gets half those wounds from the hits. But from that, one of the strike Scorpions does fall, so another casualty of them. And now that leaves Bill with one remaining Fire Warrior squad to shoot. And he's going to try to take advantage of at least a little opportunity. He doesn't have much in range, but he's going to try to get at least something on those Wind Riders who are not fortuned right now from the far seer. So he feels that this is kind of a good shot to maybe drop a couple, but completely misses. So no good ballistic skill there. Now the Strike Scorpions took more than 25% casualties. So Spectre Ames is rolling that, and they pass.